All right, welcome everybody to the Sternberg Museum of Natural History. I'm Reese Barrick, and I'm here to welcome you to the museum and to something we're really excited about, which is a new way to museum. This is going to be our new series on our YouTube channel, and we're very excited to bring all of you into the museum. We're going to share a whole lot of different cool, fun aspects and stories about natural history, about life on the plains today, and about our long, glorious fossil history. And we've got a lot of very cool people at the museum that work here, and we've all got a bunch of cool stories. And I just wanted to get a chance for all of you to get to know all of us, because you're going to be seeing us a lot. We're going to come each week with something new, unique, and fun. And so I thought I'd introduce to you some of the fun personalities we have at the museum. So we'll start a little bit with our education director, Ian Trevethan.
So I guess that would be me. My name is Ian Trevethan, and I am, in fact, the education and outreach manager here at the Sternberg Museum of Natural History. So guys, what can I tell them?
Duck down. So Ian's wall summarizes him. He likes dinosaurs and Star Wars.
Star Wars, among other things. I think, I like toys in general. We've already visited with this guy.
Go him, Chris Pine. Yeah.
So anyways, clearly I like everything pop culture. I like toys and stuff, but I like science. Got a master's degree in geology. Went to school at Montana State University, where I met our curator of paleontology. And then I moved on to grad school over here, and eventually found myself working at the museum, where she was then hired as the chief curator and professor of paleontology. So it is a small world. So that's been interesting. It's really kind of like a family here. I've worked here for, almost 10 years now, in one form or another, either as a assistant of some sort or some form of educator. So that's me.
Luke, Ian started out as young Luke when he started at the museum, and now he's turned into old grumpy Luke in the last series.
And Luke.
And definitely...
don't have a figure of crazy old man Luke. But
that's all the correlations between life today and life in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, it won't be long before I'm drinking that fresh green milk.
Very cool. Let's go across the Brady Bunch squares here, or the Hollywood squares, and talk to Alicia.
Hi, I am Alicia Gady. I am the naturalist here at the museum, which to me is just a really fancy word to say I clean up lots of animal poop. It's a great job. No, I do a lot more than that. I take care of all the many live animals we have here, which is kind of something special about us. We do have lots of live animals, mainly reptiles and amphibians, and I get the wonderful job of taking care of them. I also do lots of programs with children. I get to show them all of our animals, because lots of people are afraid of snakes, which I was when I started this job. The wonder I got where I am today. So I was actually afraid of snakes, and then I got bit by my first snake, and life is all good now. So yeah, we have lots of animals here. They do poop on me on a daily basis, so I dress nicely for this day and did not touch any animals before this.
We'll probably have some definite episodes specifically focused on Alicia being pooped on.
Being pooped on. It's great. I love it. I have lots of shoes.
A whole series of just poop incidents.
I think we call them poopers instead of bloopers.
There we go.
Perfect.
That's a Reese joke for you.
I resemble that.
I actually just started working here about 2 years ago in my current position. Before that, I was a student minion, where people just abused me here. So glad I get to do that now. It's a lot of fun. So I've worked here for probably about 4 years, and it's just the best. I love my job. I love all of the animals. And then I have my animal at home. I just had a kid, so I get pooped on nonstop.
And she's now the abuser instead of the abusee.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I get abused people at home, and then my kid just abuses me at home. So it's fun.
Very cool. All right. We also have, moving down our squares, we have Brad.
Hello, I'm Brad Pinka. I'm manager of visitor services here, so I kind of take care of animals too, but it's the people animals that come in to visit us every day. And I also take care of the store, which means I get to be the first one to play with any of the new toys that come in. So that's part of the good part of the job. I've been here for a long time. I actually started while I was a student at Fort Hayes and volunteered to come give tours of a great big empty building and take people around and show them where stuff will someday be. And from there, it worked into, I actually started officially 2 weeks before we opened in March of 1999. Been here ever since, doing the same thing pretty much ever since, but enjoy dealing with people. One of my big hobbies now is I've always been into museum stuff, but I'm into really like doing the research on the post-rock and the post-rock region. That's just kind of unique Kansas. So that's my fun science part of my job, I guess.
So Brad will talk to us a little bit about, museum history, and he'll be in charge of all of the unboxing videos when we, play with the new toys that come in.
Oh, I suspect he would be talking about post-rock stuff too.
Oh, probably
Not
so.
looking for him.
No pre-rocks, just post-rocks.
Just post-rocks, yep.
Lots of fossils in post-rocks.
You bet.
It's true.
If you like fossils.
Yeah.
Nah.
I think a few people around here do.
I look for what's under the rocks, not on the bottom side of the rocks.
Only like rocks if there are fossils inside them.
I only like rocks I can lick.
Well,
Tasty.
I was gonna say, what rocks can't you lick? I mean, you could
Exactly.
not.
Exactly.
He likes all rocks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Let's cruise on to the center square. You can go up, down, across. It's the most important puzzle piece here, right? We're going straight to Allie. This is on my screen. I don't know what everybody else's screen looks like.
That's not where I am on my screen, but hey, I'm not.
For your online.
So hello, my name is Allie Baumgartner. I am the Paleontology Collections Manager. So I am responsible for the vertebrate paleontology, invertebrate paleontology, and geology collections down in functionally the basement of the museum. But secretly, I am a paleobotanist, just masquerading as a vertebrate paleontologist. And I am also in charge of the fossil prep lab upstairs. I have only been here for 4 months, actually almost 5 months now. And yeah, it's been quite an adventure. I've very much enjoyed it, but mostly I am hidden down here in the basement surrounded by fossils, but there are definitely worse things.
So since she's only been here for 4 months, she still likes us.
It's true. This is true, except for you, Curtis, because all I hear all day is your voice through the wall.
That's a blessing.
You're right, it's a blessing.
You're the lucky one.
I am the luckiest.
Well, you're not alone, at least.
That's very true, and it allows me to echolocate Curtis. I know where he is at all times.
Oh, it can be misleading sometimes. I have wandered around the museum thinking I knew exactly where he was, and it just sort of bounces around. We have a dome-shaped building, so sound carries really strangely here.
We all didn't tell her.
It would be scary if you were hearing voices and you knew that no one was down there.
Like the elevators that open and close with nobody on them, the ghost of George.
Yeah, the ghost of George Sternberg.
Also, I don't know how it is in other collections, but because I am underneath the actual exhibits, there are constantly children running across the the ceiling to me. I can hear the children, and it is a little disconcerting when you're all alone and all of a sudden you hear like giggling children and running above you. Like, oh God, it's haunted.
I get that too.
Like at night too?
Nope. I haven't been here at night, so.
Okay. When you hear children running over your head at night, that's when it's really scary.
Well, see, my theory is it's not the ghost of George, it's the ghost of Steve.
That could very well be.
Could be
Oh,
Steve.
Allie's only been here for a short time, so we're still figuring out what her animal totem is.
Yes.
Animal.
She's obviously like some form of tree since she likes stuff like that.
I relate to that very much.
I was gonna say a linden tree because A, they're one of my favorites, and B, they have beautiful pollinating friendly flowers.
I support that. I'm totally on board. I'm also super I think I said this at like our first staff meeting that I was super excited by all the trees that were here in Hayes, and everyone was like, what trees here in Hayes? But I live by campus, so I live on the floodplain. So there are plenty of trees here. There's a beautiful catalpa across the street, and I get really excited, like honey locust, love honey locust, because here we don't have the cultivar that doesn't make the spines. So like these trees here, if you upset them, they're like, fine, I'm just gonna have spikes now. And I kind of relate to honey locust.
Yeah, Allie seems like she's more like a baby Groot, really happy all the time, but she can get the spines on her when she gets, riled up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm very protective of my fossils, like very protective of my fossils. So like I'll go full like Groot and rip you apart if you upset my fossils.
But in a very organized way.
Very organized. Many spreadsheets, and I can.
All your body parts will be coordinated appropriately
Yes.
with the data recorded.
Yes, I'll give them to Curtis for the dermestids. It will be very well documented.
Speaking of,
I think we discriminated ourselves.
Speaking of Curtis, what do you got behind you? What's behind you, Curtis?
What's behind me?
Yeah.
A wall, my calendar, some pictures, some insects.
So what does that mean about you?
It means I like creepy crawly things.
You know?
So my name is Curtis Schmidt. I am the zoological collections manager here. So I get to actually manage the cool collections here at the museum. The once living ones that are not millions of years old.
I would like to say that our collections don't cause the custodial staff to make sure that toilets are flushed. Ours don't smell.
I suppose so. But I manage 6 different modern groups of organisms. A herpetology collection, which is my personal favorite collection of amphibians and reptiles. A mammalogy collection, which is obviously mammals, my second favorite group. Ichthyology, the study of fish. We have a lot of fish specimens. Entomology, which are insects. Ornithology, which are birds. And last but certainly not least, invertebrate zoology, which is all of the invertebrates that are non-insect. So altogether, we've got probably over 177,000 zoology specimens. One of the things that I like the most about my job is I'm not always stuck in collections. I do dabble outside in both education and exhibits occasionally. If you've been to the museum anytime since 2011, you've seen our rattlesnake exhibit. So I get to take care of that. So Alicia's not the only one that gets to clean up poop. I get to do that as well. So I'm the primary caretaker of our rattlesnakes and things like that. So I'm also a sports junkie. A little bit about myself. I love sports. I love watching sports. I love playing sports, even though I'm starting to get a little too old for that. So watching sports is mostly where it's at these days.
Well, Curtis just got some muscles just a year or two ago. So.
That's right.
Not those kind of.
I'm just now figuring out how to use them, though.
With a white wine sauce.
Yeah, absolutely. Marsala.
So we all determined before we started recording, or maybe it was after recording, but maybe edited out, that Curtis is a hog-nosed snake if he was an animal.
That's right. That's my spirit animal. Because I'm quick to get defensive, but I couldn't fight my way out of a wet cardboard box. So there's lots of cool adaptations hognose snakes have that I might have as well. But if I get too scared, I just poop all over myself and play dead.
Do you play dead to get out of doing things?
Sometimes.
You poop on yourself?
It's happened before. I occasionally poop on myself as well. Although that's a rare occasion, but
Not pretty when it happens.
Only when he's playing dead.
My favorite thing about like when a hognose snake plays dead though, if you like try to flip it over, it's like, no, I'm really dead. And like will flip itself back over. I insist.
that's right. So like that, I'm really good at feigning death and feigning things.
Yeah, for God's
But
sake.
I'm not the most intelligent, so we have to deal with that as well.
But see, none of my hognose snakes play dead. They bite.
Oh.
I really
They
want them to
don't
play dead.
bite. They just think you're food.
Well, I mean, I'm a little mousy. Short.
Very small.
Or maybe a toad-like?
Oh, I wouldn't have gone there, but we'll stick
Yeah.
with mousy.
You guys just say the nicest things to me.
I was gonna go with koala.
Okay, I can
The
accept.
measure of perfection. I like toad.
Well, saying as I have the fattest toads most people have seen here, I'm slightly insulted. But
I wasn't thinking about that.
yeah, it's fine.
I will agree with the obesity of your toads, though. They are very
They're
well fed.
They are very fat.
Toads put up with me, though.
What?
Your toads put up with me.
I know. That's pretty nice of them.
Yeah, I was
I think
actually
that they're
impressed.
underfed.
I did a program with I think it was Yoda
Yoda.
2-3 days ago, and she was very cooperative. So,
As long as she got food, she's fine.
she got food.
Yeah,
That could tie into that obesity thing.
right. That also ties in why I'm
Bribery works when you're live with an animal. Bribery is good.
Yep.
All right. Moving on down, let's chat with David.
Hi there, my name is David Levering. I am the director of the Sternberg Science Campus program here at the Sternberg Museum. I am the mammal paleontology person, if anything, in our merry bunch, and also contribute with other education things whenever Ian comes and knocks on my door or my email inbox. I am originally from the West Coast, predominantly Oregon. I did my undergraduate at University of Oregon, did my master's at Oklahoma State, both paleontology emphasis degrees, and at least before COVID, spent my summers teaching teens and preteens how to camp and hunt for fossils and identify wildlife and how to do all that stuff safely in as fun and positive a way as possible. Now we do all of it virtually. Hopefully we can get back to in person soon.
And you can tell David likes to be out in the field a lot, you know. So it's been a struggle for him this year, having to stay inside all the time.
I don't have nearly the same tan lines that I'm used to. It's been very, very rough adjustment.
Now you are looking to see.
Just brutally
Although I
honest.
will say, like, field work, like every summer since I've been here, and yet the summer we don't is the summer like I break a bone.
You are meant to be in the field. This is what happens when you're not.
Yeah, my bone density dropped because I wasn't swinging a pick for a month. Yeah.
Take an animal out of its natural habitat and it has trouble thriving.
What are these computers?
I need sunlight.
I spent the summer being basically a shipping agent because we sent kits to all the students, and so I packed well over 100 boxes that went out all over the country. So I went through a lot of packing tape here, is my point.
But at the end of all of it, I got to benefit from all of your boxes, and you helped supply me with the materials I need to ship out loans in the future.
Yeah, you're like, does anyone have cardboard boxes? Yes.
We're better at doing boxing videos as opposed to unboxing videos here.
I mean, if y'all want to do unboxing videos when I start ordering camps gear in like March and April,
And I don't know,
go up for like a month.
boxing up a fossil to ship is actually kind of interesting because you got to be real careful because it has to make it there intact because these things are literally priceless and irreplaceable.
So David, I don't know if you noticed, but we had like no thunderstorms this summer, and I blame you for not being in the field.
Yeah, no, I know, I did notice that.
I can't even remember a severe thunderstorm that we had this summer.
I figured this would come back to me too, one way or another. I thought I might yell outside, time to go dig up the fossils just out my front door and see if that had any effect, but sad to say it did not.
Take a group of kids outside, take them camping. What's going to happen? Torrential downpours, thunderstorms, tornadoes.
I think we'd all gone over to Castle Rock with the premise that I was going to lead something that probably would have at least gotten us a sprinkle.
Anyway, I blame you.
I mean, I feel like the data supports that the past 6 years.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
All right, let's chat with Laura.
Hi, I'm Laura Wilson. I am, I have a bunch of different titles. I'm the curator of paleontology. I'm also technically the curator of geology and the chief curator of the museum. And then I guess the other half of my job, I'm also faculty in the geosciences department at Fort Hays State University, which the museum is also a part of. But I mostly deal with really old dead things. I don't really like the whole fleshy stuff. That's why Curtis keeps flesh eating domestic beetles. So I can just like shove fleshy things at him and, you know, he can feed the beetles. And then I just get to play with the bones and the teeth, which is pretty cool. I do a bunch of things, kind of like you probably heard, we all have our hands in different pots at the museum. We're technically, I think, a medium-sized museum, but, you know, we all get to help with education and exhibits in addition to our primary jobs. And in my case as curator, it's working with Ali to preserve all of the physical specimens as well as the data associated with the specimens so that they can be used by researchers, by education and outreach, teachers and students, as well as in our exhibits. I also get to do research, which is really cool. So here in Kansas, between, you know, 80 and 100 million years ago, we were covered, or 75 and 100 million years ago, we were covered by an ocean. And so I study the ocean that covered Kansas in the late Cretaceous, so at the end of the dinosaur age. And I'm really interested in how the animals interacted with each other as well as their environment. So animals, like who's eating whom, as well as how climate change affects animal evolution or changes in climate, kind of as you move geographically, affect animal behavior and evolution. So I get to work with some modern animals, but again, like either they have to be alive or they have to be defleshed.
Which is kind of sad because, you know, her favorite animals are penguins and she keeps defleshing them all and they're so cute.
No, the skuas do that for me. So I don't even have to do that. They come to me, they've been like picked clean by these really jerky birds that live in Antarctica, or at least visit Antarctica when the babies are being born. And so they take care of all of the fleshy bits, which is pretty nice.
Have we figured out what your animal totem is?
Penguin?
No?
Tasmanian devil?
Yeah, that's probably more accurate.
No, Tasmanian devils are incredibly nice and friendly, and when they are caught, they will like cooperate. You're a quoll then. Those were the ornery ones.
Yeah, I take it back. Whatever the opposite of that is.
That's cool.
I'm gonna have to look that up to see how insulted I am.
Just
Quolls
tease, I love you.
They live in the tropical regions of Australia for the most part. Not all of them are super endangered.
They're all adorable.
You probably it sounds like you might not want too many of them anyways.
All right. And we have over here Rachel, who's going to be very important in making all of this series come off smoothly. And she also sort of tries to keep us on task on what really is cool to do for videos on YouTube. So go ahead and tell us a little about yourself, Rachel.
Okay. So my name is Rachel Unruh. I am the marketing and PR coordinator here at the Sternberg Museum. Let's see, I've kind of technically been at this job for about roughly 2 years, but I started out at the museum as a student manager while I was going to school at Fort Hays. So Brad for a while was technically my boss, and then I guess moved to being my job, or my boss now for this job. So now Brad is my coworker. So fun stuff. I guess some things about me. I love horses. I wear cowgirl boots to work every day. Allie nods her head. So if anyone has like a horse question, I got you covered. So I can do that for you. I also love reading books and playing video games. So yeah. Oh, and I have a corgi. Hence like why I have to have my corgi picture up in my corner here. So yeah, big animal lover, nerd.
And your boots are still nowhere close to the smelliest thing in this museum.
Right. So it's
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I was also gonna say, they're also not the loudest thing in this museum.
Again, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Well, and she says she's a big animal lover, but really she's more of a Shetland pony.
For sure. I took a quiz once for like one of those silly quizzes for like what Park and Rec character are you? I turned out to be Sebastian the little horse.
You're 5,000 candles.
Yeah. I'm Sebastian.
She also has a very endearing nickname, the Hobbit.
Yeah, because I'm short, you
And
know.
she has furry feet.
Yeah.
But no, they're the
Come on,
cowgirl.
They're in the
walk
cowgirl
walk
boots.
into
You've
her office,
never seen them. But,
and she always says everything because she's short.
oh yeah, you're like, what's up? I'm like, everything, because everything is
Every single time.
for me.
Every
I feel
time.
you, though.
That's
The whole
fact.
world is above my head.
Yeah.
Rachel is the only person I've ever known to be older than me and shorter than me. She makes me feel good.
I'm also good at doing that too.
When I found out she was older than me, I'm like, oh, yay. Life is better now.
We should be friends.
That's literally what I said. I'm like, you're now my friend. You're shorter than me.
To all the social gatherings. That way I'm not the shortest one there.
Just stick together. We can make a bigger person if we try.
True. Yeah, trench coat. Totally.
So anyway, we just wanted to give you a little insight to the personality of the people at the Sternberg Museum.
Oh,
And
hang
You
on,
gotta introduce yourself. What about you?
Oh, what about Reese?
nobody cares about me.
No, we do.
Hi.
So, introducing Dr. Reese Barrick.
All right.
As you can tell by
All
his
you need to know
background,
about him is the colors in his office.
which is exactly what I was just about to say.
My favorite colors are green and yellow. So that's
I do appreciate that your getup matches your office.
Reese is a huge Oakland A's fan, big into baseball.
right.
What shoes are you wearing, Reese?
What shoes am I wearing? I think they look something like that.
See, I'm not the only one with weird footwear.
Hey, I'm wearing my slippers. We're good.
So yes, I am a bit of a Green Bay Packers fan, a little bit,
And the master of dad jokes.
and I try to work on dad jokes whenever possible.
And he's also the Punisher. He likes puns.
I do whenever, and the great thing about being the director of the museum and liking puns is sometimes it wears off, and I actually see a lot of these guys actually coming up with puns every once in a while against their own better judgment. So I appreciate that when that happens. I know that I've helped make the world a better place when the rest of the staff joins in on the puns. So I'm probably, I'll have to see, but I've lived pretty much on all parts of the country. I grew up in Iowa, lived in Southern California in LA, Raleigh, North Carolina, Utah, and now Kansas. So it's gotten to see all parts of the country. And I got to tell you that working at the Sternberg is probably the coolest thing and most fun people to work with of any place I've ever been. And so it makes me really proud and excited to be able to sort of share all of us with all of you and bring a lot of cool stories from inside the museum, and also stories about the world around us, both in the past and in the present. And I think it's going to be a whole heck of a lot of fun. And so I sort of encourage all of you to join us on our Sternberg Museum YouTube channel and join us to, learn about a new way into museum. When you can't be here in person, we've got you covered with all kinds of cool, fun stories about nature and life, and from the sort of all cool, interesting personalities that we have at the museum. So thank you all for sort of beginning this ride with us, and we look forward to seeing you here every week. So I don't know, I never came up with a really good
Outro.
I mean, we can workshop it, because this is mostly like get to know us.
Yeah, this is good to know us, but we need to get to come up with a clever one-line, exit from all of these things. So we'll work on that.
We need a theme song.
We need
a
a
Be under the.
No, please not.
Yeah,
Work
let's
on
do one.
guitar, ukulele. I can play the ukulele. That one they
If
like.
we ever have a fan, we can take fan suggestions.
There we go.
if we ever have a
Ever have a fan.
Please. Yeah.
Choose to join us and send us in some selections of what you think would be a cool theme song.
And I play a mean kazoo.
Heck yeah.
And
We're
I
starting
sing
again.
awesomely off key.
I play the drum. So
I can play a very very harsh trumpet. So
I have my saxophone, so like
got a great band going on.
who knew we could pull a band out of
Play
it?
the spoons.
That'd be cool.
How many times do you think we can use the Monday Night Football theme for the outro before we get?
Depends on how much we have to pay for that.
only if you get caught.
Yeah. Only until they slap us on the wrist.
Exactly. All right, cool. So until we come back to see you again with our first story, we look forward to seeing you, and have a great week.
Over and out, friends and followers.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Enjoyed it.